Just received 2 new Koken ratchets in the mail. So this video is going to be a review of all the Koken ratchets I have, which are quite a bit now, and to go over the part numbers and so far my first impressions on all these Koken ratchets. Obviously I like them, I keep buying them. I thought I would be good with a Pittsburg Pro and then an Icon, but after using one Koken ratchet, I've decided to make all my ratchets Koken. I think they're reasonably priced. So this part number is 4747N-380. And as far as decoding these part numbers, are very simple. The first 47 indicates a 1/2 inch anvil. The second 47 is the ratchet type, so in this case a flat, wide head. The N is for a knurled handle, which I really enjoy. It's my favorite handle for Koken ratchets and all ratchets, to be honest. This one in my right hand is the one I received in the mail today. This is a 4753N, and when there's no dash number, that means it's just a standard size. So there you can see the width of the head difference. The one on the 47 on the left, I think is like a 1 3/4 inch, and this one is more like a 1 3/8 or 1/2 inch. So again, that's a 4753N. 53 is this ratchet head right here. It's much thicker, but not as wide. They're both 24 tooth. I really enjoy how easy it is to switch back and forth. Having it reversed from snap-on doesn't bother me. I don't own any snap-on ratchets, so I figure I could just get used to this directional. So this is a ratchet I got a while back. This is a 3753N. So 37 stands for 3/8. 53 is that same style ratchet, 24 tooth, and the N is a knurled handle. Also, I've noticed they got a date stamp, I suspect, on the back. So this one I think is a, see if I can read this, 24/4. So I'm gonna say that's 2024 April manufactured, so pretty fresh off the manufacturing floor. This one I can't really make out, but I'm sure I think it's a. So anyway, I think there's a date code on there. This is first 1/4 inch, which is 2753P for polish. So it has the same 53 ratchet head on it. In the 1/4 inch case, for whatever reason, I guess it makes sense since it's smaller. It's a 20 tooth, which, you know, doesn't bother me. I like the sound of the low tooth count, and I got my Zeal ratchets if a higher tooth count is needed. This is a 2753N. Also came in the mail today. I was so happy with the 3/8 53N, the 3753N, that I ordered the 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch equivalents. So very, very happy with these knurled grips. These old school Koken ratchets I love the way they sound when I'm working on my car. I wasn't really using the Zeals too much. I was worried about, you know, getting them dirty, I guess, but these knurled handle ones, I can't not use them. They're so nice. So this is my 1/2 inch Zeal 4725Z. So 25 indicates the Zeal ratchet, 72 tooth. I think there were some previous versions of 36 tooth. I don't know what those part numbers are. I can't tell from the catalog. But there you can see the difference between the pebble finish behind the selector switch on the Zeal and the old school knurled ones. I guess the 25 versus the 53s, I could say. But loving the back drag is super light on all of them. They're equally light. The Zeals are nice and compact. The 1/2 inch head is about the same thickness as the big one up there, the thin head. I guess the 47 I could call it, but has a smaller width than the 53. So this is the next ratchet I'm gonna show is a long handle 3/8 Zeal flex head, part number 3726Z-280. So the 2/6 indicates the flex head. It's got the 72 tooth. There's the ball indent. I really like the feel of the flex head and how it feels. It's not too loose, not too stiff. It's just perfect. 72 tooth. Here's the standard 3/8 3725Z. It's about a 7-inch ratchet. It's just very nice. Love using it. The soft grip turned me off at first, but after handling them, they're very firm, and it seems like they'll be easy to wipe grease and grime off. I've heard they get sticky with diesel, but I'm not working on any diesel at the moment, so it shouldn't be a problem for me. But in all, I'm very happy with all of these Koken ratchets. Very, inexpensive. I waited till most of them were on sale. The Zeals, I bought them all in the set except for the flex heads. I bought the pair of the 3/8 and the 1/4 inch for $220, so I figure about $110 each, which is about the market value. I do see them on there for $140. I'm not buying any of those. But these Neural Grip ones, I've been getting a steal on them. The one up top, that 15-inch long one, the 47N-380, I got that one for $34, which I thought was incredible. And the rest of the Neural Grip ones I got for approximately $30 as well. So they're incredible deals. I know it's a turnoff to a lot of people for the high tooth count, but for me, I just love the sound of it. I rarely find myself working in a tight space, and if I do, I got the Zeals. So I feel this ratchet set's gonna be just perfect for me. Unfortunately, I'm replacing a full ratchet set I already bought of various Tecton, Pittsburg Pro, Icon ratchets. So this is, I'm kind of doubling up, but the Kokens I was so impressed by them that I decided it was well worth the investment, and hopefully I find some use for all these ratchets. Maybe I'll have a mobile kit I could set up. So if I'm hoping never to lose these Kokens. I'm gonna keep these close by, and if I gotta take one on the road, it's definitely gonna be the Pittsburg Pro or some much cheaper ratchet. But I think the value on these is incredible. I got them all on Amazon and eBay. None of them have warranties. I don't feel the need for a warranty. They all sell rebuild kits. They're a little pricey compared to what I see the Snap-on rebuild kits at, but the cheapest used beat up Snap-ons I was looking at for these same type of ratchets were $70 to $200, and that's used. Brand new, they're $100 more than these ratchets here are averaging on average. So I just couldn't bring myself to buy any Snap-on ratchets whatsoever. No Mako ratchets, no Mac ratchets. Before these Kokens, the best ratchet I had was Icon, and after getting these Kokens, the Icons seem absolutely horrible. I like the low back drag on the Pittsburg Pro, but it's when this test here is going to be Icon socket versus a Zeal socket on a 1/2-inch ratchet. So now we're going to see how these different types of sockets and ratchets match up with each other. So this is a old school Koken 24 tooth with a Zeal socket. It's pretty tight. There's some flexing, some slop in the ratchet itself, but not too much. Now with the Icon socket, it's a significant amount more of slop. So right off the bat, it looks like the Zeal socket makes a huge difference versus the Icon socket. So for comparison, here's an Icon ratchet with a Zeal socket, and you can see the lower clearance there. It looks pretty nice, but it's a little wobbly, but it's gripping pretty good. It's not a bad ratchet there. There's not a lot of slop in it. I'm very happy, with the Icon ratchets. But with the Icon socket, much larger gap, and you could see the increased slop in it right there. I mean, it's significant. My whole life I just assumed that was normal until I got these Kokens, and I was just blown away by the Zeals. So in this test, we're gonna see that the sockets are more important than the ratchet itself. But when you match the Zeal ratchet with the Zeal socket, it is a very tight clearance. You can barely see through that. I'm trying to peek through it in the the slop is very minimal. So this is the 4747 ratchet, and you can see the increased flex on it, and the 4753 is actually tighter. You know, it's got a smaller head width, which I think contributes to that. And so here's the icon with the Zeal. So icon socket with the Zeal ratchet, and it's less clearance, but significant play. I mean, you know, the Zeal sockets are matching up with the non-Zeal ratchets much better than the icon sockets are matching up with the Zeal ratchet. That's kind of the takeaway from this demonstration here. And I'm glad I did this because I feel I learned a lot about my ratchets and sockets by doing this. So it was a great exercise, and very happy with every single one of these purchases. And I think that the price is incredibly generous with the yen trending down. You know, if you look at the 10-year chart on the yen versus the US dollar, it's time to buy Japanese tools, and for me that means Koken. Working automotive DIY is so much more enjoyable with a nice ratchet. Is one thing I've learned buying nicer stuff. I got by with a Craftsman USA ratchet for quite some time, and lately I've just completely upgraded a lot of my tools, and it's just a better experience working on the car. So here's two Zeal sockets on the two different Koken ratchets. The best knurled grip one for slop versus the Zeal, and you know they're very similar, but the edge goes to the Zeal clearly, but it's not a bad next best to get this 4753 end ratchet and slap a Zeal socket on there. But there's the icon, and there's the slop, and you know Zeal's got this, so you can even hear it. You know, as a test, you could just shake it. So here I am. I'm basically gonna do all these configurations again and just do a shake test. And what I'm finding is when there's a lot of slop, you can hear it, and when it's a very tight, no slop fit, there's absolutely no sound clicking when you shake it back and forth. So I think you could hear it, so I'm gonna have the volume up on that. So it's just a quick generic test. I think at this point is where I'm gonna break out here's the icon, but after this I'm so intrigued I pull out the Pittsburg Pro, and that's when you know, as much as I love the low back drag on the Pittsburg Pro, after doing this test, I could really see the increase in the slop of the Pittsburg Pro versus the icon. So I have a newfound respect for icon over Pittsburg Pro regarding ratchets after making this video here. So it's actually very informative to me. So there's the Zeal socket on the Pittsburg Pro, and it's got the absolute most slop of any ratchet that I've tested in this video. And I used a 1/2 inch because I thought it would be easiest to see for this demonstration. So I assume this transfers to the 3/8 and 1/4 inch as well. I don't see why it wouldn't.